Greetings and welcome to The Contracting Guy. I am The Contracting Guy. And today's message is focused on listening and being attentive and reflection. We all can benefit from sitting back and listening and allowing the reflective process to kind of immerse us. We're so busy saying something that we fail to sit back and listen. I like to illustrate this by way of analogy, or a story at least, is that this is one, it's based in the scriptures. In the Bible, it has a lady who is caught in adultery, who is brought before Jesus. So this crowd brings this woman here, and Jesus is there, and they're telling him what he needs to do. And he sits back, and as the story goes, is that he starts to write in the sand. And he looks up, and they're questioning him again. Say, what do we need to do? Your teacher, what are you going to do? He goes back down, starts to write in the sand, and then he says, well, let the first of you who is without sin cast the first stone. And he goes back writing. And after a bit of time, the only person that remains is the woman. He looks at the woman and says, is anybody here to condemn you? She goes, well, no. And he says, well, neither do I. Go and sin no more. Now, why is that important? There's a couple things. One is, I kind of like the Jesus who is the person who stalls, is the stalling Jesus. The one who sits back and reflects on something and goes, I don't need to make a decision. I'm just going to let this thing play out as far as I can. So I'm going to start writing in the sand, and people will be uncomfortable with the silence. Now, Christopher Voss speaks of that in his negotiation work, is that silence is beneficial in negotiation because nobody likes it, and people will start talking when there's silence. They want to have that broken. So Jesus is writing in the sand, and people are now talking. And then he gives them something to think about. Now, the important thing is this, is oftentimes you're going to be having an issue that comes up and you're going to need to make a decision, perhaps. Well, unless somebody is actively doing something at that moment and there's a life and death issue, most of the time you can sit back and reflect on it to ensure you make a good decision. In this case here, Jesus decides just to stall, and he stalls by writing in the sand, and people respond by going, what's he saying? What do we do? How do we, I'm not comfortable with this. In the end, they all leave because nobody was without sin. And as a result of that, the woman is not condemned. In contracting, we don't take the time to reflect enough, either on bids or proposals or on evaluations and creation of evaluation factors or on the requirements. What we need to do is reflect more. We need to determine what is it that we're trying to do and how should that manifest itself. So the takeaway here is this. You come up with an issue that you need to deal with, take time and think about it. Include in your group other people that need to think about it too, and take time and reflect on it. And you'll find most likely you're going to come up with a decision that actually is a pretty good decision that you can live with. If you're too hasty, problems will occur. Always does, always will. But take your time, make a good decision, and you'll be well on your way to an excellent outcome. Having said that, This is the contracting guy. I'm out. Contracting guy here. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for being part of the contracting guy family. If you would support the channel by like, subscribe, and share with others, that would be wonderful. This is the contracting guy. I'm out.